Alright, well, so I popped the cavity cover off on this base, and what I found is kind of interesting. The base has three different tone control, or volume, tone, and tone control, and the input jack. One of the tone knobs is completely missing, and it's odd because there's no wires for it, only for the two controls here, which I assume is volume and tone of some kind. So it definitely looks like somebody tried to rewire it, which is strange. Unfortunate thing is it's missing a tone pot, so I'm going to have to get a tone pot for it or find one. And the other unfortunate thing is one of the nuts for the tone pot was completely disintegrated, so that's useless. So, I mean, salvage wise, it has a couple of knobs that are pretty much useless. So I'll probably end up having to get some tone pots. The input jack looks fairly intact, and it's one of these through-hole fit things, so I'll definitely be using that. That's useful. I'm probably just going to go ahead and cut this all apart and start over and rewire it, because this just looks like a mess. I may plug it in before I do that, and just to see if something happens with the pickups. But that's what I found when I took apart the cavity cover. I'm probably just going to take everything apart and stick it into these baggies. I'm probably going to take the neck off, and I'm probably not going to disassemble the neck because I don't see any need to, really. Probably just going to clean it. I cleaned the back side of it, and it was fairly clean. And whatnot. I just cleaned some gook off of it. There's a couple little dings on it, but nothing to worry about there. I still haven't decided what color I'm going to go with this if I paint it, which I think I'm going to, because I could take it down to the natural wood and see what it looks like. However, that's a lot of work to get through this paint job. It's a lot of sanding. If I just scuff this paint job that's on here, more or less, if I just scuff it up real good and paint over it, it'll paint very nicely right over the old paint job. But if I take it down to wood, it's going to be a lot of work to sand it all the way down. And then if I don't like the wood, it's kind of a risk, because if it's like crazy multi-piece and it just looks weird, which is definitely a possibility being it's a low-end instrument, you know, then I gotta paint it. So I don't think I'll take the risk of taking it all the way down. It's a cool idea, but I think the better option is basically to scuff up this paint job as good as I can, and sand it up real good, and that'll give me a real good base for another paint job right on top of this paint job that's here. So just kind of wanted to show you what I found in the cavity here. It's definitely been rewired in some manner. I can't say, it doesn't even, looks like maybe this is the tone control, but I don't see a capacitor, which is odd. I guess maybe that's, I don't know. I don't wire bases too often, so I don't really know. So I'll have to look into it. Not a big deal. I just got to find a couple of pots. These look like they're maybe they're alpha pots, and they look like they're 500 k ohm. So yeah, I might have to find some replacements, and so I can put the third one in, and then look up a wiring diagram so I can just quickly kind of throw it together. I'm going to unbolt the neck, take this stuff out, take the pickups out, take the rest of the hardware off, and the bridge, and probably scuff up the body, and then come up with a color. I just haven't really decided. I could go back to black, It seems kind of boring since I'm into it. You know, it'd be kind of cool to change up the color. Not really sure, actually. Maybe a gray. Maybe I go kind of a grayish or a dark gray, or it could be white or blue. Maybe a kind of a softer color. Not really sure where to go with the color. And it's the green paint scheme is probably unique to somebody else, so I think that could probably go. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Just kind of figure out taking apart the wiring. Probably gonna plug it in quickly and see if it makes any noise to the pickups. It'd be nice to know if they work. And that's it. And then I'm probably gonna disassemble and then sand it up and try and paint the body. So check back.